Yo, what's up, people? We are back with Trash TalkerZ podcast episode number 3. NickVee showed up just in time. Today we got a wonderful lineup of guests, which I'm going to unmute and undeafen myself right now. On to the left, right of me, we got returning guest, Dutchies' own NickVee. Below me, we got the one and only PanZerPan. And on the bottom right, we got UK's best, UK's finest, the one and only Jake.
Hello.
How's it going, people?
It's good. Going
It's
well.
alright. It's going.
How we feeling
Going.
after this hot and heavy Twitter weekend? We should say almost.
Oh boy.
Waking up New Year's to see all this Twitter beef. Feels something. Starting off the year right, I guess.
Starting off the year on the right side of bed, just instantly, coming at Alioun, one of the best lab monsters, one of the premium inventors for DBFZ, and telling him, bro, you don't know shit about this game. Go home.
I mean, you can say a lot of things about the DBFZ scene, but one thing we ain't is boring. We are not boring. Anyway, before we get into all the topics we have planned today, which are actually only two, of course, as just said, we're going to discuss some of the drama that went down a couple days ago. But before we do that, I wanted to get into the tier list that came out, especially from on the east side of us, from Japan. But before we do that, I want to really talk to Jake about his performance in the Eldian London Brawlers tournament, which was, of course, UK did not get the treatment from Bamco. Now you ain't getting nationals, but you made it. You said, we'll make our own nationals with blackjack and hookers. And y'all did great, and of course your performance was great. Just talk a little bit about that. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. It was. I think the main problem that I faced was outside of like the actual London Brawlers events. On the days, I practiced for like an hour or so before the tournaments, or I wouldn't practice at all, and that was like the only practice I ever gave myself, because it's a bit rough to play the game at the minute, being online and all that. But yeah, I think I played well most times. There were a few days where I definitely felt like I just played like a potato, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was alright. I think shoutouts to Johnny and Co for setting up the event as well, though.
Yeah, huge shout-outs to Shuridu for making that happen. NickVee, you were a commentator for that yourself. How was your experience with that as the only non-British commentator being on that desk? How was it feel? How did it feel to cast those matches?
Well, I'm kind of part of the UK because RMZ he adopted me, so.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
I'm half UK now, but I thought it was like a lot of fun. I also had. I think finally I had the feeling that I was being comfortable sitting behind the microphone, sitting behind the camera as well. Because usually when I was like speaking, it felt like a little bit forced, as if like I had to commentate. But during the nationals, I kind of felt like it was like a conversation about the games instead of directly commentating it. So. I think I grew quite a lot if you look at that.
And that's great to hear. Well, that's nice. I had the privilege of commentating one of the matches because you and Dunk had to drop out because of personal issues. That was I totally agree. It was a really nice experience.
Which matches did you commentate?
I think. Oh damn! I totally forgot because this is like almost over 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Shoot, it was before me. There was Wasabi with Cert. I was with C4. Pretty sure. I think Tox. I commentated Tox, which I was really impressed with. By the way, I loved how he played. It's a shame he didn't. Yeah, it's a shame he didn't get farther as far as he didn't go farther.
I think Tox is one of those players.
Taser Tox. Thank you so much, C4 is in the chat.
Yeah, I think Tox, the way he hit the outcome of the tournament doesn't show how good of a player he is. I think the tournament results makes him look like one of the bottom tiers out of the whole bracket, when I think he's like actually one of the best out of the 8 that are there.
I didn't expect. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I definitely think he's like stronger than me in terms of DB Dragon Ball fundamentals, but it's just the score didn't show that.
Along with that as well, Shuridan plays very low, which I did not expect.
I expected it.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
He doesn't care about the game.
So the number 1 ranked player on PC does not care about the game.
He didn't come to it. And he played to. He played to play UI. The fact that he played UI every game, I think that shows everyone that he just didn't care.
He was just he was saying he was just there to like to just kind of mess around and be like, yeah, here's UI. What a stupid character.
Literally.
And
Yeah, we're gonna get into what character is stupid or not, and C4 in the chat like Shuridan is a
Yeah,
Poke
he plays
MMO
Genshin.
and Genshin Mei at the moment, which would explain his underperformance. Because I do know, like, when I think of top UK players, Shuridan is one of the names that keeps popping up for me. I don't know why. Maybe because the name is very weird to pronounce, but it was a name that stuck, and I don't know why. I remember seeing him play in a match and him actually doing very well, which really surprised me that he did end up on such a low spot, along with Tux. But you, Jake, you went from 4th seed on the playoffs to taking third seed. You had to play every single set is what I wanted to say. You had to play every single set. How did you feel like at the end of those sets? Was there like some mental fatigue that set in, or
man. after the first set? I think it was versus Rocket where it came down to it was 4-4, and then it was just scrap. The whole time we were playing, it was just scrap after scrap after scrap. And then I done the double level 3 to finish it, and I was laughing so much. It lightened my mood a lot. The way it ended, it lightened my mood a lot.
That carried you into the next sets.
Pretty much.
That inner morale of like, I hit him with the 2 level 3s.
Yeah, but then I was still pretty shaken up going into the Fish game.
oh yeah,
But
Fish
I think,
super solid.
I think he got like 3 games on me or something before I even took one, or something like that. And
I
then
think it was 2. Yeah, something.
yeah,
like
then I chilled. I slowed down a bit. Like my heart was racing a lot less during like the middle of the set, and then it got to the end and it started racing again. I was like, oh my god! And then I had to go into Taser, but I was like prepared for Taser anyway.
You already expected to get into like the final set. You were expected to fight Taser.
No. I thought I was gonna get knocked out straight away.
Oh.
I knew I was ready for Taser though, if you know what I mean. Because I played a set before like my warm up set that I usually do. I played a set against Taser, and I was like, yeah, I feel pretty confident against the way he plays.
Taser surprised me because I of course did commentary with him on the Sane Elite League, or at least we were hosts, and so a lot of the time during the SEL, when our lovely commentators would be taken over, and me and the other hosts would just be sat in Discord, shooting up conversation, waiting for the ball to be passed back to us. And he told me like, yeah, man, like I can, I could take like a lot of the players in the UK. I'm really good, and I was thinking like, I ain't never heard of you.
Wow, okay.
Sure, you tell me that, sure, I'll believe it. Then later on, I play him in ranked, and he whipped me. I mean, I
put in your place.
I took like a character and a half off him, but like he took both games right in a row, and I was like, okay, yeah, he's pretty good. And then London Brawler starts getting underway, and every time I check my Twitter, I see Taser just knocking up those high scores, and I'm thinking, what the hell?
I remember when Taser started coming to like the locals, because we had like Red Bull locals on a Thursday, and it was he started coming to those, and he was kind of getting washed by like the top players in the area, like me, Yasin, Moss, all of the people, Rocket, I should say. And then yeah, like I didn't really have too much respect for how he played back then, but then he was grinding, and like the amount that he's climbed from back in the original London Brawlers day to the DB Nationals, UK Nationals, is actually insane. And I think a lot of people don't understand how much he's like improved as a player, sort of thing.
I mean, it's always good to see players improving, especially during like a time we are right now with the whole Corona just messing everything up. Improving with online play is very hard because it's a very different environment. So that's always nice to see people improving. Anyway, thank you so much for that insight on London Brawlers. It's been a while, so I wanted to get that over real quick. And now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Actually, only the meat, because the potatoes are coming on later. We're going to talk about the tier lists. So there's a couple I've pulled up. I have, of course, the one that started it all, Bambaban. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he was the first Japanese player to share his tier list. I got it up right over here. Okay. First thing I wanted to get into real quick. Of course, I don't know if have you seen Damascus's video where he explains like tier lists, how to look at the tier lists?
No.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, basically what he says, this tier list above from Bambaban, that is how Bambaban sees the game. That is how, because he plays against Japanese people. He plays against Koichi, Kazunoko, other great Japanese players, Dogura, all those Japanese players, he plays against those. And of course, the Japanese meta is going to, of course, be very different from a UK meta, the rest of EU meta, or even NA meta. That's the reason why we see Krillin under Zamasu. If you would say here in the EU that Krillin is worse than Zamasu, you would get laughed out of the building. But this is how Bambaban and all the other Japanese players see the game, or that's how he sees the game. He doesn't see a lot of Krillin. He doesn't see a lot of Nappa. He doesn't see those characters a lot. So that's why he puts them lower. This is not how the game is objectively balanced. This is how he sees the game. So we need to go into a perspective of that into the tier list. Yeah, and that was what Damascus was saying, that like before doing any like knee-jerk reactions, like this is how Bambaban sees the game.
Yeah, I said this with Jake earlier, but a lot of people take when somebody like Goichi puts out a tier list, they take that as like gospel truth. They're like, okay, Goichi says it, must be the case. He's the strongest. He must know what he's talking about. But then if Goichi's putting together a tier list, right? He's looking at things and he's saying, this character can't open me up. This character's bad. He can't open me up. But for all us mortals whose defense is not literally impenetrable, that mix will open us up. So, like, those tiers are just different. It's as Damascus says, it's how somebody sees the game. But I do want to point out a certain trend that you're going to see in like all the Japanese tier lists. And that's look at that base Goku. Look at that base Goku. He was going to say that. Sat there comfortably underneath Android 17.
They haven't played Wawa yet.
Underneath Ginyu, right?
Yeah. What?
Base Goku worse than Ginyu.
Okay, so so the thing is, what I wanted to point out as well, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those tiers are S ranks. Yeah. That is dumb. I'm gonna say that is objectively dumb. And I know that might be a little polarizing, but I think having so many S ranks is dumb.
I mean, I think what you're essentially saying at that point, right, is you're saying, like, okay, these, like, all this S tier, these are all, like, the playable characters that aren't gonna, like, playing these characters, you're not gonna be any steps behind people playing other characters. And anything of, like, A tier and below is, like, they could still, they could still be good, but... like you're actively hindering.
Yeah, I think literally what he's trying to say is there's so many characters. Like a tier list makes it look like people at the bottom are like dog, and like the people in the middle are like okay, like you're not gonna do too well, and the people at the top are like god tier. But I think what this tier list is trying to say is that there's like 75% of the cast, they all can win you games easily. They're not like bad in any way, shape, or form. They're just not as good as the people above them. I think that's all the list is trying to say.
The thing is, though, because there are, like, with the terms high tier, mid tier, bottom tier. And, like, when you think about those things, you like, because the, like, S minus and S minus minus, those are, like, when you look at the list, those are, like, in the middle. So you would think this is, like, mid tier. I think what I just want to say is it makes it a little cluttered, and it's a little hard to read, and it de-emphasizes of having it de-emphasizes the actual meaning of an S rank. Because in my opinion, an S rank is almost OP, like it's almost broken. When you get to SS, that's when a character is like literally broken. Now you got A, and A is basically like the focal point of balance, which a character, where a character is good, he's fine, he has a couple good points, he also has a couple bad points, or he's like a jack of all trades, master of none. And then of course we get to the B tier, which is like a character you need to build a team around, and then C tier is like very hard to play, and like you need to be good with him, and then of course D tier is like don't ever play this character. If you play this,
D tier for DJ tier, don't play this character.
Yeah, D for don't play this character, or you're gonna lose, unless you're like Goichi. I don't fucking know.
And I think that's his point though. I think he's just saying that in terms of S rank, that there's just so many characters that need to be in it that he thinks the S rank particularly needs to be split into all of these separate divisions. I think that's literally. I do get what you're saying though, and I think the thing is, like, D tier characters don't exist in the game.
No, that's true.
They just don't exist.
Yeah.
I think they're also like looking at the standard of season 1 and season 2, where there were actually characters that were really bad, and having that as your baseline, looking at the characters now, I don't think anyone would be D or C tier.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's why the S tier gets split up in so many paths as well. Because could you really say that Cooler isn't S tier at the same time? Could you say that Cooler is as good as Broly or Hit? He's not.
No,
but he's still better than a lot of characters in the cast. So you could still say that Cooler's like S tier is a strong character, but he's not as strong as any of those guys in the higher S tiers. Yeah. And the same goes for like Cell or Android 21 facing Kid Buu or Gotenks. Those are just better characters.
Yeah, and I want to point out something that our good boy Omni Wailord, aka Hacky Racky, pointed out in the chat. Is, I mean, sure, this speaks to DBFC's character balance, and I agree. Balance in this game at this moment is very good. As we said, there is no character that is absolutely trash tier, which there's no character that cannot do well, which is, I think, something very, very good when we look at other games like Mortal Kombat, or a Marvel vs. Capcom. Of course, in Marvel vs. Capcom, everybody can win, but the difference between characters is a lot bigger. I think still, even when we have like characters that are not very good, characters like Zamasu or Frieza, they can still do well.
Yeah, 100%. I think a big thing about Dragon Ball as well is that I feel pretty confidently saying like bad matchups don't really exist, and I think that's why it's so easy to group characters together in terms of how viable they are. Because I know in a lot of other games, like, matchups are a huge thing. Like in Tekken, for example, Ni. I'm sure you all know Ni.
Of course,
follow Tekken at all.
Yeah, Tekken God.
He plays characters dependent on who he thinks his opponent's gonna play, and that doesn't exist in Dragon Ball ever. So I think the fact that he just picks teams depending on who he's feeling on the day, to be fair. But I think, like, in general, bad matchups don't really exist. So I think that's why it's so easy to group characters.
I think there's only one, and that will be Frieza against Broly. Frieza loses to Broly, just straight up. Because, like, Broly's Ki Blasts beat Frieza's Ki Blasts, and if Broly barriers, he can Super Dash, and there's nothing that Frieza can do about that. He can't do H it.
You can say Cooler against Blue Vegeta as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are, like, those are two edge cases I would agree with. Yeah. But other than that, there are favorable and unfavorable matchups. But other than those two, there aren't any, like, utterly bad matchups. There's no like 8-2 or 9-1 matchups in this game, or at least, or not even maybe 7-3. Maybe Broly, Frieza, and was it Vegeta and Blue Vegeta, and who was it again? Cooler. Maybe those two were like 7-3. But other than that, there aren't any worse matchups, which is once again a very good point when it comes to balance, because I don't think we have seen a game this balanced. Maybe Street Fighter V. Like right now, but other than that, I don't think we've seen any fighting game with this amount of character balance in like the last 10 years.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it kind of speaks to DBFC's age as well. Like at this point, we're in season 3.5. Like we've had a lot of balance patches. We had the cursed year of no patches to just kind of sit there and wallow and think on what is character balance.
GT
Well,
ruffling
all this-
over everyone.
Yeah, GT just being like, straight. Like even now, everybody can agree that UI is probably the strongest character in the game. But then it's like Kid Buu and Goat Tanks, Exactly. It's still hard to argue. But in season 2, it's like, yeah, GT Goku is the strongest character in the game, straight up, no doubt, nothing to be said against that. And now, like, the only character, it's like UI is like a 55%. It's like, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's either UI or Gotenks at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, but what I wanted to get into as well, like, what placements in Bamaban's tier list would you say, like, stand out? What would you think, like, this character should not be in that tier?
For me, it's Tien and Majin Buu. I don't know why they're all the way at the bottom.
I agree.
I put a lot of like respect for like Tien and Majin Buu. I think they're a lot better than everyone gives them credibility for personally.
Especially Majin Buu. I think Majin Buu is massively underrated.
I strongly agree with Tien, and that shouldn't surprise any of the people who know me better here. I've been a Tien main since the moment I started playing the game. And Tien is he's so good. Like, he has good buttons. Yeah, his mix isn't
Broken, but
everything.
I think his buttons are unbelievably broken.
His 5M is so long, and the scaling on it is so stupid that I can't believe that there aren't more people picking up this character.
And Pants, no one talks about like the frames on block like his buttons are. Like, staggers with this character are unbelievably easy, and all of his buttons put him in range for like another 5-0, another 2-0. So he never has to like dash to get a stagger, and it's just so stupid in my opinion.
I mean, Pan, isn't your Twitter profile literally the day I don't play Tien is the day I die?
The day I stop loving Tien is the day I die.
Yes,
and I stand by those words. I stand by those words. I love Tien. He's my. I mean, I would only have to turn my camera around, and there's a big ass Tien painted on my wall, like right there. He's great. I love Tien. I even, that's right, Omni. I recently got my first fight stick.
Oh yeah, you got like a Tien stick, right? That's so cool.
Let me get my microphone aside here. There you go. So
that's pretty sick.
nice.
Oh, that's with the old school manga panels as well. Yeah, that's so sick.
Like the OG manga panels, and the little cute Tien and Goku moment. In the middle by the buttons, I've got him blowing up Cell, and there's actually a little Easter egg over here. The text for Chaozu reads.
You need to shift a little bit.
Yeah, you probably can't read it, but it says, "Watch out, Tien is in dire need of a hug."
Aw, that's so cute. That's actually the cutest. Yeah, I
That's a
agree.
little Easter egg. So I can safely say I love Tien, and he is way better than people give him credit for.
Where would you guys put him?
On
I
this
put
tier
him,
list?
I put him same tier, so.
S tier. I would agree with that.
And also,
mean-
there's the biggest one that I can't believe I missed. Blue Goku. What is he doing there? What is he doing there?
I mean, okay, hold up. There's two picks I think should not be in the place they are. Krillin and Nappa. They do not deserve to be that low on the tier list. Especially after the shenanigans I've seen from London Brawlers. Nappa is such a solid character in the right hands. And of course, Krillin is like, I'm going to say Krillin is a better character than Super Saiyan Goku right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think Noka is just starting to use Krillin properly now, isn't he? I saw
Yeah, with Beerus Jiren, right?
something like that. I remember him
Beerus
saying
Jiren.
after his set with, I can't remember who just played in Wanted. Was it Yasha?
It was
Faisal. He won against Faisal, and then he lost
and then he
against
played
Yasha.
Yeah,
he lost
and I
versus
think
Yasha.
After the Yasha set, he said, I remember him tweeting and saying he doesn't know if he'd prefer to play Krillin over Kid Buu or something like that. So I think that just goes to show how strong he is.
Also, how is Vegeta better than Trunks? Like Super Saiyan Vegeta.
Yeah, I think Omni's right. This is the Japanese scene we're talking about. So they play Fenrich. They play Fenrich, and they play a lot of Fenrich. So they have to deal with the actual like
God Vegeta.
the primordial Super Saiyan Vegeta who has never left the team. I think that's also the reason why Cell is as high as he is. That's pure Fenrich talking right there.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think Cell deserves to be up there. at
Yeah,
least.
I think Cell is strong. But I think you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of people who'd say that Cell is stronger than Z Broly right now.
Yeah, Z Broly being where is he? He's not. He should be like at least one tier up, and I think it will be better if, in my opinion, of course, because as someone pointed out in the chat, tier lists are mostly personal. I think it was C4. Yeah, C4 pointed out that tier lists are strictly personal. I would switch GT and Broly around in this tier list and put like Vegeta at least like 2 down and then Bluku up a couple as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised they rate GT Goku as a character as a whole so highly as well. Where they
I
got
think
rid
it's
of a
the
lot of
same
his
as Hit. I think it's the same as Hit because Hit, well, it's Japan. No one uses Hit A in Japan right now, right? It's all C tier, so I guess just they cannot block Hit. And I think I saw Bambabon also talk about Hit where only Goichi can block Hit and no one else or something like that.
I saw a tweet like that. Yeah, it's
And,
I think
I mean-
it was. Oh, gone.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think the thing that Nick's talking about is I remember Jesse shared. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, it was saying
Obi, yeah.
Obi, sorry. Obi shared a tweet saying literally only Goichi can block, no one else can. So that's why every single Japanese tier list that you see Hit is just up there because people can't
Yeah.
block.
But I don't remember Hit being that hard to block though.
He's
I
not-
mean, play against Obi Assassin, you'll find out why.
I mean, I haven't played against
But
him, so
I think, like, if you look at only Hit as a character, I don't think he should be S tier, but more likely, JayFree, you said like B tier is they're good, but you have to build a team around them.
yeah, that's
I think
my
Hit is supposed to be there, not on this list, by the way, but I think in the way of thinking that Hit needs a team around him to play mind games and hide his slow burns. I think that is what Hit's place is, because Hit, he only really has a grab, which is kind of slow. He has a 2M, which is really slow, and the rest are all overheads and left rights. And I think on his own, he's definitely not hard to block. He's just unexpected, and that's why I put Obi Assassin as a player like really high, because I think every victory he gets, he works really hard. Because when you see Mr. Popo play against him, Popo just blocks everything. He's unopenable by Hit players.
But then again, Popo is like EU Goichi basically.
Yeah,
In
sure,
terms
he can be, but Mr. Popo isn't scared of Hit.
Yeah.
He's scared of other characters, but not Hit.
It's the same where like when you play SSJ Goku in Anchor and everybody like the person you're playing against can be like, okay, you're not gonna open me up. If your opponent can tech Dragon Rushes, you're never gonna open people up with SSJ Goku solo. Well,
The only thing Hit will do to open you up is his assist.
yeah.
I feel like
It needs to be changed.
I feel like Hit being really high tier is more than just people not being able to block him though. I think his like 5LO is beyond stupid. Like his 5M's really insane on block and it's got insane range. His damage output is really nice and all of this stuff. I think it's what makes him top tier outside of his people not being able to block it for sure.
Yeah, and hit A is pretty wild, to be fair, says Super in the chat.
There's also the part where anytime that you're gonna face a hit, like you're gonna be facing like a character specialist, right? You're never facing somebody who picked up hit because because hit's so strong, I'm just gonna throw hit into my team because he's good. It's always gonna be someone who's been playing hit for ages just to play hit because they want to play that character. So it's like they will almost certainly know the matchup of hit against your character better than you know the matchup of your character against hit.
Of course, but that's for most characters anyway.
Yeah, and I do think at the tippy top of DBFC competitive, tier lists do not mean shit. They don't mean anything. If you play against the best versus the best players, tier lists don't mean anything.
I think they do.
I agree.
Change my mind.
I think they do.
I can't. I agree.
Jake agreed. I don't really, but I'm not a top player. But I think like if you are at the very top, right, or you face yourself in a match and you know all the characters the same as your opponent, and you play, let's see, in this tier list, you play Zamasu, Android 16, and Frieza against the other playing UI, Goku, Kid Buu, and Gotenks.
Yeah, but that's of course like a utopia. That's like a situation that will, of course, never happen. But if you look at two different, if you look, of course, because tier lists are like when you put like the exact same player. Two people that are exact same skill level against each other, and one guy picks like UIQ, Gotenks, and GT, and the other guy picks like Zamasu, Fidel, and Frieza. Realistically, the guy that picked the first team is going to win most of the time. Realistically, but when you're at the top level, when like it all comes down to mind games and like experience. Tier lists don't mean anything because it's all about how you can play your characters the best.
Yeah, like literally looking at where they put Super Saiyan Vegeta on the tier list, just because of Fenrich, right? No one in the UK or US like rate Super Saiyan Vegeta at all, but because Fenrich is a character specialist for that character, even though we don't think he's good, but he still beats everyone and no one can beat him. It goes to show that tier lists don't matter because everyone thinks Super Saiyan's trash, but no one can beat him.
Anyway, I wanted to close out this tier list because we do have like two more to get into. The next one is going to be a little bit. It's not going to be as spicy. The third one is going to be super spicy. Okay. Anyone like final remarks want to get on this tier list before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I want to talk. You asked characters that are too high or too low.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we talked about hits, so I won't say about that, but Vegito could be higher. I think Tien and Goku should be higher together, because I feel like they're pretty much the same character, except that Tien has
Your SSJ, who are you saying, or?
Yeah, because...
What? Oh, okay, so go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh.
Tien differentiates himself with his, what's it called, his dunk, his volleyball thing. But I'm looking more at his dive kick because that's like the
crane kick,
like literally unblockable. I feel like, and I think SSJ Goku has the Dragon Punch thing, which is really fast as well. I think their mix could be around the same. I think Tien's a little bit better though.
Okay, let me
differences.
I don't know the characters that well, so this is my opinion on that case.
Okay.
And I just want to say I don't know the characters fully, but this is how I see when other.
I mean, it's fully personal, so you're
exactly.
right. You're more in your right to say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, unless some Pan and Jake want to butt in.
I used to play Tien Super Saiyan Goku
as well.
like for a full season together. Like a season 2, I had Tien on mid and SSJku on anchor because he was just that good of an anchor. And Tien, like, I think the difference is that Tien, if you're gonna throw like that crane kick too much, you're gonna catch so many 2Hs because it is like if he goes into the air 2H because there's nothing else that he could be doing. But then Tien also does have a command grab, which at least at the level that I'm playing at, and I play in UI Sign, nobody mashes out of that thing. And on pro levels, everybody mashes out of it. Like it's essentially a Jiren 5H, but with a little EX sign to let you know it's coming. Tien's mix is in some ways better than Super Saiyan Goku's. He has a few more tricks up his sleeve, but I think you're mostly correct in that they're kind of similar characters. Just that Tien has his damage output, which I don't think Super Saiyan Goku can touch. I don't think most characters in the game, if Tien gets the button that he wants, you're just dead. You're just gone, erased, shredded, gone to atoms. And guys like UI can keep up with Tien in terms of damage, but if you get that optimal situation, there's no character you could want more than Tien, because he will just annihilate the opponent. So I think my final thoughts on this tier list is Tien needs to be higher, Majin Buu needs to be higher. I'd say Jiren needs to be higher. I mean, if you look at the Spanish nationals,
Yeah, dude.
like Jiren Beerus is made for each other. Those two
Oh!
characters are made for each other.
Wait, hold up. Why is Piccolo so low?
I think Piccolo. That's a good spot for Piccolo.
I don't agree, but that's a different topic. Anyway,
I suppose we can get into Piccolo Legends in the next list.
yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go into the next list, which is none other than Goichi's. And Goichi did not have the ability, for some reason, to make like an actual screenshot, so he shot at his screen. Literally. Already, like, there is some similarities. Of course, we got the God, the UI, which is correct. I have seen the ways. I have been convinced by Twitter and my fellow DBFZ community members that UI is actually a little broken. He's not super broken, but he's a little broken. Top 3, there's some difference. Broly was a couple tiers down, and now Broly is literally in top 3. So I guess like UI is like top 0. He's number 0. Then we got Kid Buu, Gotenks, and Broly. But once again, we see a lot of similarities between this list and Bambaban's list.
The biggest one being Japan says Nappa trash. Japan says Nappa is trash. Don't even come in here with that character. I don't care. I'll beat him. Which
Do they have Nappas? They have
I
one.
don't think they really do.
Abigan, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But Abigan just plays big bodies because he wants to.
Oh,
Abigan-
shout out to Stan and Plug for having an unblockable with.
Oh yeah, that was
The
crazy. I'm gonna look that up for later as well, because that clip had me like scared, actually scared.
I think talking about Nappa, Nick, I believe it was you who recently said this on Twitter, but I saw the point made that Nappa is kind of like 18 plus, in that his neutral is.
I was memeing. I was memeing.
No,
I was memeing because I see a lot of people giving Nappa shit. Well, they say the same thing about Android 18, and then they put Android 18 S tier and Nappa C tier. So I'm like, what is up with you? And I think they all think that Nappa's neutral is worse than Android 18, and I would agree. And that
but not by this big of a margin, right?
And that the corner pressure of both is insane. That's it. They're basically in that sense the same character, but somehow they rate Android 18 as S tier, but Nappa C tier, and maybe that's because Android 18 has key blasts.
Also, I want to point out something real quick. We talked about how base Goku was so low in Bumban's tier list, and on Goichi he's like literally top 7. And I think the big difference is
Goichi has fought Wawa.
Yeah, for sure.
Gucci has fought Wawa, and he has seen the ways. He's come back a changed man, and he's saying, "Look, base Goku, the character's legit."
Because I think even he can't react to base Goku's command grab.
how many frames is that?
It's so invisible.
20. Okay, so it's not like sub. Who's commander is sub 20? Broly, right?
Broly in
It's like
16.
Super
Blue
Blue
Goku.
Blue Goku, yeah. Android
They're like
18.
17 frames, right? Or was it 16 or 17?
Broly's is 17.
Is that Z Broly or Super Broly?
Z.
Z. Super Broly is not that fast. His standing grab is trash. Like
His L
30
grab.
frames. Yeah, his L grab's trash.
I think you're waffling there, sir.
I was gonna
Wait, how many frames is that? Because every time I use it, people jump out of it, and it looks slow. It just looks slow.
I think you're using the M grab then, because the
the
L
M grab
is under 20 frames.
The L grab is the standing one, right? And the M is the anti-air one.
There's you talk about S Broly.
Yeah, S Broly.
Sorry, my bad.
Because S Broly's L grab is hella slow. Or am I just like high?
I think it's 2022.
It feels slow at least. At least it feels slow. But that might also be because I kind of compare it to like Z Broly's grab, and Z Broly's grab is like hella fast.
I think S Broly's grabs, none of them are unreactable, which is important. That's why I don't think his grabs are too scary.
Which ones are his grabs? 214, right?
Yeah, 214.
Yeah.
I think something about Super Broly, and this is talking purely like personal experience.
24.
I cannot defend against Super Broly, but this is because if I'm blocking against Super Broly, there's so many things to think about. Because like you can't spam reflect, you can't mash out, because if he's stomping, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
And he can decide at any point to stop stomping or keep stomping, and it's kind of difficult to tell when that's gonna happen. Like if you're gonna start mashing because you're thinking, okay, he's gonna command grab, you can just 5H and you get tagged. I mean, this is kind of like, you know, the common man's tier list in that sense, because I'm not that good a player. So when I approach a character like Super Broly, I'm saying, look, his command grabs for top players like Jake and like other, you know, big names in EU are gonna say, you know, Super Broly command grabs, they're all reactable. I'm not scared of them. Me personally, I am uber scared of Super Broly command grabs. He will snag me 9 times out of 10. I can't deal with it. So for me, a character like him would he opens me up every time.
But also a big difference we see with this tier list and Bambaban's list is that like Majin Buu is higher, a lot higher. Vegito is a lot higher. Beerus as well, 21. It's the same.
21 was S tier and the other one.
Oh, okay, my bad. Then I was not paying attention. Yeah, and Krillin is a lot higher as well. Like Krillin went from C tier all the way to S.
Maybe he did watch the French thing.
That could, yeah. But that's the thing, right? Like Japanese, from what I gather from them, like they don't really care about like non-Japanese regions, with one exception, which is Goichi. But the other players, they seem to not really care. They're like, this is the game we play. This is how we're going to play. And unless we travel and someone shows it's not how we play, we're just going to keep continuing playing the way we want to.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't comment about that. I don't know them, so...
That's it. From what I have gathered, like from the Japanese community, they like to be, like, they're not in like a bubble, but they don't like look as much into other regions as like EU and NA does.
I mean, that's kind of a bubble.
I remember what B said. I believe it was Shanks who just added a whole bunch of Japanese players on Twitter. This was like a couple of weeks ago, saying, okay, what do you guys think about UI Goku? Because I'm not hearing you talk about him. Nothing's really happening. Like, what do you guys think? And B said, master wordsmith that he said on Twitter, if UI is top tier, the Japanese will play him. We are such creatures. And it was like, okay. Like, he just kind of said, look, it doesn't matter. Like, we'll play the game, approaching it from, you know, from what we see. And if we see the character's top tier, we'll pick him.
I mean, I remember back in like the old SF4 days. Like, I mean, I'm talking 2010, 2011. Everyone in Japan played Sagat. Everyone. Hey, yo, Himios, thank you so much for the raid, by the way. Thank you so much. I have notifications turned off for like people that are rewatching, but thank you so much for the raid, Himios. Welcome to Trash TalkerZ episode 3, everyone. Right now we're discussing tier lists. Right now we're at Goichi's tier list. But yeah, other than that, like there are a couple outliers like Krillin, Vegito, Ginyu maybe, Tien as well, Jiren. But then again, and then Nappa. Nappa. Wait, how was Nappa on Bambaban's list? Bottom as well.
Very lowest.
Thank you so much, Himios. But yeah, also, Black was a lot higher on Bambaban's list than he was on Goichi's, which was kind of surprising to me.
I mean, I guess this is, again, like, looking at it from Goichi's perspective, you know, Goichi looks at Black and he's saying, no, you have nothing that scares me.
Yeah.
You can't open me up. So, you know, I'm not scared of this character. And that's also why SSJku is there. And I guess Fidel and Nappa are there because he's saying, look, your neutral's so bad, you're not even going to get the chance to open me up.
And as we said, like, SSJku, he's not able to open anyone up. Goichi's just like, okay, SSJku, Anchor, and Spark, fine. I'm just going to sit here and block everything.
Yeah, I think I don't really rate Super Saiyan as a character at the minute either. I think like when I was playing against Tox, whenever he had Super Saiyan alive, I'd literally just sit there and block for the whole time until he does a mistake or something. I don't think the character's as good as he used to be. He's definitely nowhere near as obnoxious in terms of buttons.
Also, Zamasu being not bottom tier?
Crazy.
Zamasu, I don't know. Like, what's there to really say about Zamasu? Like, you know, the character doesn't have a key blast. Just straight up does not.
I want to say, I remember a certain Zamasu hitting me with an SD, and I was dead from full health.
Bad cat.
You gotta call someone. So we gotta call.
Off a super dash. He can do that.
Zamasu is one of those like characters who like the optimization is endless. You can keep optimizing his combos forever and ever, which is great. At the same time,
Can you open someone up though?
I saw situational damage earlier saying that Fenrich gets second at the World Finals with 6Ms and DRs. So yeah, I think you can open people up with something.
Zamasu can definitely TOD from a DR.
Yeah.
Maybe I think Zamasu can TOD off like everything, or like anything. 5L, sure, you're dead. 2L, sure, you're dead. Yeah. But other than those like outliers, I don't think there's a lot to not agree with on this list, to be honest.
I think Cell's pretty low. Cell
He should be high?
Along with Bluku, yeah.
No. I would agree.
But yeah.
Maybe I put Krillin up one tier as well.
Like, would we really say that that Captain Ginyu is better than Cell by a tier's difference?
Well, okay, the thing is, Ginyu is really hard to put on a tier list. Ginyu could be anywhere, honestly.
He really could be, because you could body swap with your opponent's UI and suddenly you're top tier, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a move that makes you a top tier.
And then we keep coming back to the thing though, but does he have mix? And the answer is no, so why is he top tier? It's because, it's
amazing.
Because the game has enough mix in and of itself with like the universal mechanics and with how hard defense is.
Yeah.
That you can open people up regardless of whether a character has a lot of mix inherently.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts you on block for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And at one point you're gonna blink and then you get opened up with a 6M.
And situational damage, aka C4 is calling out in the chat like it's nobody rate and cooler. Normals are kind of crazy. DP 3H full screen low. Level 1 does mad damage. I mean, cooler does not get enough love. IMO. He is a better character than the tier list seem him to be.
On this list, he is below Android 16, and that is a cap. I do not agree. I can't say that that's like remote. Like in my opinion, cooler definitely belongs at least in the tier together with Cell and Gohan, if not above them. I see him a lot.
I would rate
more.
them right there, yeah. I think that would be a good spot, along with adult Gohan.
Yeah.
Anyway, any last remarks want to get into this tier list before we get into like the real spicy one?
Yeah, base Vegeta is too high.
What? Okay.
Oh,
Free-
downplaying. Skip.
The character's trash.
Skip. Oh wait, no, go ahead. Downplay him, because it's my
That's
it's
what
my
I
turn
gotta say.
next.
That's what I gotta say.
Sir Jake.
Next one's gonna be Nick saying Android 18's too high, but okay, let's.
Yeah.
let's
It's literally in his Twitter bio though. I downplay Android 18.
18 sucks.
18 sucks. Ask me anything.
18 sucks. Change my mind.
I can tell you exactly why as well.
Okay, let's hear it.
No, show it first, man. Show it first.
Anyway, Pan, you got some more final remarks or
Closing remarks.
closing remarks? Yeah.
We're still capping about the end. Let's move on.
All right. Okay. I do not have anything. Everything I wanted to say has been said. Also, can I just say I love seeing my man Trunks being in S+ rank. Man, I've been playing this man since season 1. He has got nothing but buffs, and I love that he's finally like in the spotlight. He deserves it. Anyway, moving on.
So
Kazunoko. Kazunoko. Oh boy.
Oh wow.
I 100% agree.
Trying to think. I think
Is that because Android 18 is in C tier?
Alright, so a couple things that stood out to me are, of course, 18 should not be there. Tien should not be there. And Gogeta should not be there. Honestly, they should. All those three characters should be at least like 2 tiers or more higher. Like 18 should be an S, Tien should be an A, Gogeta should be an A as well. Those are like the three that them being under like lower than 16 is insane to me.
Damn, you're really calling the season 1 champion and the season 3 Japanese national
But
champion?
then again, even Goichi said like, "Yo, I lost him." So then again, that's a good point. I have not. But of course, everything is personal. But this IMO is like one of the more spicy tier lists we've seen from like the entire scene.
So what truth has Kazunoko seen that he's the only one in the Japanese scene who says like, no, listen, Nappa, not actually worst character in the game. Apparently not complete garbage. Because he's putting Nappa in the same tier as Jiren, in the same tier as Super Saiyan Vegeta and Blue Goku. So apparently Kazunoko says, nah, there's someone to Nappa. More than there is to 18 or Tien, apparently.
Or Gogeta.
Or Gogeta for that
Which
matter.
is a damn shame.
He got a 2M. Character's good now. He has a 2M.
But Videl being above 18.
I agree.
Oh my God.
Out of here,
I think like the main things that I disagree with is literally only really Tien and Blue Goku. But I think like with these tier lists, the characters are so equal in my opinion. It's hard to just completely disagree with everything on like these tier lists. I think in terms of like top ranks, like the top 75% of the lists, I feel like they're pretty sorted. I think the middle of the tier list can be whatever you feel like, but then the bottom's usually around about the same. I'd say I don't really disagree with it too much.
I think 18 is so low because Kazunoko thinks like this. Okay, so you put me in a combo and I'm laying on the floor, yeah. You're gonna eat this DP, and there's nothing you can do about it. 18 can do nothing about it because she can do a barrier, but the DP still takes like 2 seconds, so the shield is already gone before the DP stops.
By the way, can I just ask what y'all think of Roshi being so high? Because I do not recall him being this strong, except for his assist.
Kazunoko won Japanese nationals with it. What else is there to say?
Yeah, that's kind of my thing about Roshi as well. Going into the nationals, I didn't expect to see so much Roshi, but he was all over the place and he won. Like Roshi won, and so I'm like, okay, I'm convinced. I guess
I'm
Roshi's
a believer.
great. Yeah, like I can't play Roshi to save my life. But
Yeah, I think he's like not a broken character by any sense, but I think he's strong. You know.
I think like Roshi's like a tough nut to crack, but once you crack the Roshi, he's like almost unstoppable. Almost.
kind of like who needs to reflect.
Except if you ask Fullmetal of Fury.
Yeah, of course.
I saw him downplay him a bit.
Professional downplayer.
All right, so I wanted to ask y'all a quick question, like related to this podcast. Do y'all want to should we make our own tier list, like us four make a tier list, or are we like, nah, let's just go ahead and get into like the Twitter drama?
I think tier lists, they're way too personal. The last time I saw a group tier list made, people started crying.
Good point.
I think like for me personally, no, I'm being serious. Legendary Pred and Alucard's tier list.
Yeah.
That was like a Discord call with literally 16 people, and it was crazy.
Oh,
but
really?
I think like me personally, I feel like I definitely disagree with a lot of you guys are saying things you say. So I feel like it'd be a bit rough to make a tier list.
But then again, the big difference between us and you, Jake, is that you are sharing the call with 3 commentators.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys watch a lot more matches than I do.
Yeah, but you play a lot more matches than we do. We just watch them.
Oh,
I guess
didn't he earlier say that he plays 1 hour before a match and that's it?
that's definitely what I
I mean, Jake has won London Brawlers, which is something we cannot say.
True.
Okay, I guess my main question then is, Jake, who would you say who would you say is undeniable top tier, and who would you say is undeniable bottom?
This is what I mean when I think no one's going to agree with me. I think Blue Goku's the best in the game. I think he's undeniable top tier for me.
Blue Ku?
Yeah.
Don't know about best, but definitely top 5.
Yeah, top 5 at
in my
least. Yeah.
opinion.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've gotten mixed by Blue Goku online so many times. I can't stop that character. The moment I see him on the loading screen, I'm like, it's Blue Goku time, and I can't handle him. You know, it's so.
Guys,
I don't
sorry,
know
real
about
quick.
some-
I gotta dip for like a couple seconds. Go on. I gotta fix something real quick. I'll be back. Just a second.
Okay.
Sorry.
got technical issues.
But yeah, that's like I think my tier list is probably going to have a lot of hot takes, which is the biggest difference between tier list of me and like a lot of other people. A lot of people don't agree with anything that I say. Which is
Well, I see a lot of
normal.
people in the chat saying, yeah, Jake, right.
because I've converted them.
That's because they've been talking with you too much.
I mean, I have recently made a tier list, but it wasn't.
okay.
It wasn't actually a tier list like most people think. It was like, which one do I think is fun to play, and now make me a team because I'm still on the team crisis. So hit me up with a team.
Play
Hit you up
Kefla.
with a team. I mean, I would suggest anybody to play TN because I see a lot of people say, "Oh, TN's a boring character. TN's so like boring to play." He's not. Like, he is so much fun. His buttons are big. The damage that you shit out is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I think
So
that for me as well, TN would definitely be like top 10 easily. Like easily top 10.
See the light.
See the light. Once you play the character, you understand.
You got 3 eyes to see the light with.
Oh, I have to do a quick shout out to men
three
like
assists.
Jonathan Tennant.
Jonathan, what? Oh yes, he was. He was in deep on the Twitter drama as well.
But yeah,
All right, I'm back. I'm so sorry.
mate, my top 3 assists, you already know, it's Krillin, GT Goku, and Roshi.
I mean, I don't think you can really argue with that. I think if you make a top 4, it's got to be UIA, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Are we talking about assists now?
Like top assists in the game. Jake says Krillin, Rock, GT Goku. We don't even need to say which, and Roshi, which again we don't even need to say which. And-
I would I would say I mean Roshi is arguably the best assist in the game, arguably. But I think UI is a little bit underneath that, and then GT Goku, and then I would agree Rox is like, it's like stupid how good it is.
Yeah, I feel like those 4 assists I feel like they're a bit undisputed at the minute. For sure.
And like, can we talk about how beams have kind of like fallen since season 2? Because in season 2 it was all about like having a beam.
I think it's because C beams became a thing, right?
Wait, how many characters have like a C beam? I know of Kid Buu, I know of Gohan. Who else has a C beam?
we got Gotenks,
Broly, Super Broly.
Super Broly.
Oh yeah, Gotenks as well.
Gohan.
Was Cooler said?
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of C beams in the game.
I think Cooler was mentioned, Jake, but I'm not sure.
And like the C beams, I mean, they always piss me off. If I lose to the C beam in online, I'm always like, think about your damn assist for 1 second.
But because I think the thing is, the weakness of beams were they were hard to convert off.
Yeah.
And they just got rid of.
I mean, they still
difficulty
are.
of converting.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
I mean, if you play UI Goku, you don't have to think anyway. So let me not think about you.
No false head empty.
Anyway, is there any closing remarks we want to make about like the tier lists and assists we just talked about? Because I wanted to get into the hot Twitter takes that were made.
Drama. I love drama.
So is there anything anyone wants to say on the tier list before we get into that?
Where'd they place Vegito? I guess
Bamba was pretty low. I already.
I'm memeing because the whole Twitter drama came about because of tier lists.
All right. Should we just get into the drama? Because it's.
Let's.
I saw NickVee rubbing his hands. Okay, so for those that did not who were asleep, dead, or both, what is basically went from a tier list has spun into a heated debate between most of EU versus most of NA about who is actually better, which is basically what it came down to. There was one guy, faulty thing, he was not able to just shut his mouth. He was saying some cap things, IMO, but then again, keep in mind, we are all from EU here, so we are going to be heavily biased, of course. But the thing is, some people were not able to shut their mouth, and that basically ensued into some of the biggest DBFC beef I've seen, like, in the entire game's lifespan.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Jake isn't EU Brexit, boys. I mean, that's true, you're not EU anymore. You're just
That's
UK.
All different kind of drama.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have to pull up where it begins. We have to pull up the faulty thing tweets.
Yeah, I got it up right here. I mean, I got it. It started from from what I've gathered, it started from Alucard tweeting out this playlist. That's where the whole thread started. Is where from the little 10-minute research I did. This is where it all started, and we scrolled down, and then this. I think this is where the thing got heated. Like, we got Coach Steve. We know how the character plays like LMFAO. I think this is where things exploded.
Nah. The way it exploded was where Faulty Thing started to disrespect Wawa, and Alien was like, yo.
Oh, you mean this one?
You need to shut up.
Is the Vegito can't block.
This one. My man's there's Vegito of a go. There's a footage of a Goichi versus Wild First 10 where he would block Vegito for literally minutes in Season 2, where there was assist regeneration, the score was 10-0. You mean this tweet?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack. Of course.
Well, I mean, where it really goes down is then Alioun comes in and says, hey, what are you talking? And then Faulty Thing goes in swinging on Alioun as well.
Yeah. Just
Like,
starts
Alioun-
calling him out for playing Morrigan or something. I didn't even understand what that meant.
Yeah, that was so weird. It was he started swinging on you play Morgan, Phoenix, don't even talk to me. And it's like, okay.
What?
What's the point?
Okay, I didn't know Morgan was in Dragon Ball Fighters. I didn't know that Morgan would not be blown up if you call her assist in a bad time. I did read some of the more of the posts that where Marvel vs. Capcom players were talking about it, and they were like, Faulty Thing is completely wrong, because Morgan's assist, if you call her at the bad timing, she's just dead.
Yeah. I mean, any wrong assist call in Marvel just means your character is dead. It doesn't matter. Your character's just dead. Happy birthdays are so potent.
Yeah, I don't really know about that, but that was already I was already at that point where Faulty Thing was mad capping at that certain opinion. Let's say that, and Alioun is actually a really good player at.
Yeah, I mean, as we discussed this before the show went live, or as PanZerPan actually says.
I want to say.
Sorry, go ahead.
I do not say Faulty's bad at the game, by the way.
No, we're not saying. We're not.
Very
No.
good at the game. But it's opinions. It's just about your opinion.
Yeah,
If you ever watch this Faulty, it's about your opinion, not that you're not good at the game.
Why would he watch this podcast? It's EU. He doesn't care. He thinks we're below him. Why would he watch this?
That's exactly why everyone in the NA thinks Coach can beat anyone in France.
Oh, that's
The exact same reason.
All right, so hot take. How would Coach do versus the top of the EU, Wawa, Kaiden?
Wawa washes him for free. Let's be real here. This is Wawa we're talking about. This is one of the best players in the world.
Can I ask one question?
You may.
Is it fair to say Coach Steve against the top of EU? Is Coach Steve? I have not seen him play, so I don't know. Is Coach Steve the top of NA?
Nope.
No.
Then it's not fair to put him against Wawa.
Yeah, but that's what that's literally.
Let me hold up. Let me put up his tweet.
Yeah, that's exactly why I brought it up, because he's in the lineup for the NA lot, for the NA versus.
Look at this. Let me see if I can find it. Look at this tweet. Me waiting for offline opportunity to smoke France. He's not talking about one player. He's talking about friends. He himself.
It's him that's instigating it, right?
Yeah, yeah. And this is kind of where it also, like, of course, it exploded when Faulty Thing was just running his mouth. I think this really put the gasoline on the fire.
I think that people maybe take him too seriously. I think he's just instigating like Sonic Fox, right? He's just having a laugh with this. I think the only one who's actually serious about all of this is Faulty.
Honestly, I don't know.
Other people just laughing about
I don't know. I've seen Coach in his Marvel days. He takes these things very seriously. He takes games very seriously. When he loses in like top 8, he takes it to heart, which makes him a good player. He's a very, very good player. Because he takes the game and the game and everything around it very seriously, it drives him to do as well as he does. So I would not be surprised if he was memeing, but this. Yeah, as C4 says, Coach doesn't troll. He just wants to be the best at the game. That's like, he literally just wants to be the best at the game. So I don't see this as a troll. I think he means full seriously that he can't. I think he really thinks he can wash friends. And I'm going to laugh my fucking ass off when he actually runs into a French player and gets absolutely steamrolled.
Yeah,
Jay, I sent you a DM of one of the tweets on reply to this.
Oh, it's Noka. Okay, that's going to be spicy.
Yeah, click the translation.
After facing my little sister.
Yeah, I saw that. That was sick. The question is, does Coach Steve even do Spark things that Yasha does, that Jilla does? Like, play like a monkey. Does Steve do
that's
that?
essentially because that's the thing that a lot of American players were saying, right? Because people disrespecting Vegito. And people saying, "Yo, you try and block like Jilla, Yasha, these big Vegito players from the EU," and they're saying, "Dude, we got Coach Steve. Like, we know what Vegito can do." And it's like,
but do you?
I think the problem is, like everyone gave Steve like some next ego from where he ran through US West when the US West are like the worst region of.
Oh, it's just
they took like the nationals like the least serious. Like even I think they took at least even less serious than EU East did, right?
Exactly, and Coach just ran through every single one of their members, and it wasn't even close. I think he the people watching that and his fans, I guess, they just gave him like an untouched ego or something. I don't even understand, but yeah it's crazy.
But that comes back to like Coach takes this very seriously. He doesn't care if it's offline or online. He's like the same when it comes to France or other like EU. Like, we don't care if it's online. We just want to play the best as we can. We want to show why we are playing at this level. And then, like, I don't know, was it EU West? Like, most of EU West were like, this is online. This doesn't matter. And it showed. It showed as well.
Yeah.
And Coach like, I don't care. This is for all the marbles. I wanna be number one, and he got number one.
There is like a clear divide though in this beef, because there's people like Sonic Fox. Like, Sonic Fox came in and they said, "Oh, but we take France for free." I'm just saying, but like we know how Sonic Fox does these things. They like stirring the pot and throwing out some hot takes and throwing some coals on the fire and getting people talking and getting people buzzing. They like that. That's a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And Damascus and the commentators got in and started saying like, "All right, let's run this commentator set as well."
Shouts acoustics.
Yeah, shout out to acoustics indeed. And yeah, exactly. As Chad said, Super Noon got in, and there was like a lot of lighthearted stuff there. A lot of more, I guess kind of the DBFZ scene that we know. Where we're all just kind of like, let's do this. Let's get this show on the road and let's get some cool sets going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Faulty especially was running his mouth, and a lot of the French players, rightfully took that to heart and being like, hey, we do a lot of hard work in this scene,
mm-hmm.
and you're just gonna come in here and say, oh, this and that, and you guys don't mean anything. Come on.
I think the thing as well though, like, people like Sonic Fox, they could talk all the smack they want because they're that good.
Yeah, nobody can beat them.
Right? But it's just these are not random people, but it's people that can't prove what they're not gonna back up what they're saying in an offline scenario. So I don't know why people like that are talking so much smack, you know. But people like Sonic Fox, they can do what they want. They can beat anyone in the world, you know. But
Yeah,
it's just-
I love that. I love that Sonic Fox. They said that Japan and France, no, U.S. East and France would smoke Japan.
What? Okay.
that's
I mean, that
wild.
was good fun because Gurichi actually reacted with a gun to that.
yeah. Let me pull up that tweet. That was Sonic's tweet, right?
Where they said France and U.S. East. beat
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah. That was Sonic's
Yeah,
tweet.
that was Sonic. Yeah, that was Sonic.
Uh,
But that was some cool stuff on Twitter.
yeah, I found it. Let me.
All right,
there
let's
we
get it
go.
up.
It's this tweet: DBFC, U.S. East, and France shaking hands, cooking Japan, and then Guichi's like, "Yo, I'm gonna shoot these hands. I'm gonna shoot these hands." That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like we know the rivalry between these two guys. We know that's nothing but love. I would struggle to think of a more fun esports rivalry than Sonic Fox Goichi.
Agreed.
It's hard.
I think it's kind of what you said, Jake. It's like, you know, when Sonic Fox talks smack, you know, people listen and people know that, hey, if they'd be called out on that in person, they'd be like, all right, let's play then. Let's see it. And they'd laugh, win or lose. If I go out on Twitter and I say, France smokes Japan free, you know, Kazunoko loses to Wawa every single time, that's what people would be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Why are you talking to me about this? And I think that's kind of the same thing that happened with Faulty here. It's like, you're gonna tell us that that Wawa can't do anything, or that Steve is just as good as like Jilla and Yasha, and it's like, dude, come on, don't.
I want to be honest though. I don't think there's like another region this year that put in more work into DBFC than France.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
I mean, Spain does as well, as far as I know. It's just that France looked better in general.
They get more. At least they get more screen time as well.
I mean, both got as much screen time.
No, I mean like not screen time. People talk about the French players a lot more than they do about Spanish, which is
They
a
talk
damn
about the French
shame.
Yeah, they talk about the French players. Most of them talk about Wawa first, then the French players. But you also have Kaiden through Wanted, and then the other French players. And when you look at Spain, and you see people talk about it, it's usually just about Shanks.
Yeah,
a little
Shanks,
bit of Gropis, but none of the others. So
No.
Yeah, I think the thing about France is the average level in France for like the top players. There's like 20 great French players.
yeah,
You can't say that about any other region.
that's definitely true.
Yo, we Dutchies, we only got one.
And we have one on the rise.
We have one who keeps saying that the game sucks and he doesn't play it. And then I look at his Steam profile and he has played 50 hours of DBFC in the last 2 weeks. So I don't know where we're at with him.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think what's such a shame about the Spanish scene is that it's like, it's so good, but it's so isolated, because there's not that many, you know, Shanks level players in Spain. Like, Gropis can keep up with him. Gropis is really good, and I loved watching him in the Nationals.
Oh, yeah,
he was
dude.
one of my favorites to watch in the Nationals. But you know, Spain is just too far away from the rest of the big EU names. Like, you don't see.
sleep on Gamba. Don't sleep on
Don't
Gamba.
sleep on Gamba.
Gamba's
You're right.
OD. Gamba's OD.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But you don't see these Spanish players as much on things like Wanted. And I wish that we did see him.
Yeah.
France average
it's-
player is House of Chaos top 3 level. I agree. Probably above House of Chaos, honestly.
I don't know about that, Chief.
I would say. I mean, I'm a proud EU DBFC community member. I love my EU brethren. So I'm gonna stick it out for them any day of the week.
I do remember that at LCQ, Alucard almost lost to Tardigrade.
Oh really? Your TO brother?
Yeah.
Wow.
Letardi
Okay.
lost 2-1, But right after Alucard tweeted out that European hit players are wild.
So Nick, are you trying to say that Tardigrade is bad? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's
Oh!
good. And Alucard is like at the top of HOC, isn't he? If I remember correctly.
I can't remember. I don't watch it. I can't say.
I think he is like near the top of the whole bunch. So any random French player is actually really high class. You could say that, right?
Guess we should all migrate to France, right?
I mean,
Nitro
we
Pros,
can
though.
safely say that Tardy, obviously, like any of us casters and TOs, loves the game and loves playing it, and so is likely a good bit better than your average online DBFZ player.
I mean, Tardy is a player first and then a TO.
Oh, fair enough. I haven't watched him too much. I must say I don't know too much about him, but that's like in terms of the French level. Like if you're talking about Tardy, but then you still have guys like Kaiden and Yasha and Wawa and Noka, and the list goes on.
And a lot of unknowns as well, yeah.
You should let Tardy play in good ass Dragon Ball, Nick. Let him off his chains.
No, he usually is at work at that point.
Aw.
The TO is at work.
Wow, okay. Anyway, we're almost out of time here. Is there... I heard the name Nitros. I believe he had like a very spicy take about all of this as well.
Did he?
Right? Didn't he say like something like, I will smoke France for free or something?
Nah, I don't
Was that him?
All I know is that Nitro Bros is a sick player, and
That is
I
true.
think he could take some names. That's all I can say about it.
Lots of people were talking about smoking France for free, but my only hope is that DBFZ offline comes back soon, and that by the time that it comes back, that we still have some of these fires burning, so we can see these conflicts resolved in a matter appropriate for the FGC, which is to say a first to 10 money match.
Yeah.
The fires. There's no way the fires are still going to be burning. What's going
No,
on?
I
Yeah.
know, but I wish,
Trust me.
but it's not going to be.
There's one thing I want to mention before we run out of time. I watched the Kill Sage stream, and the thing we were talking about Steve, Coach Steve, that people were gaslighting him a lot. The Kill Sage says that we gaslight France a lot. What do you guys think about that?
It's not gaslighting.
No.
It's just speaking facts. They're gaslighting people like Steve. They're giving him false confidence. That's what gaslighting truly is. It's saying, "Oh, Steve can smoke anyone that he wants." That's cap. Me saying Wawa can smoke anyone he wants, or Yasha or Kaiden, that's not cap. It's literally facts, and I feel like it's proven. I don't even know why it's even being questioned about being gaslight. To be honest,
I mean, up to a certain point, I would agree with you. When you get, if we're looking towards NA, I would agree. Towards Japan, a little less so.
no,
I think they have a
Kaiden
chance.
in the finals.
That's true, but then again,
It's so difficult.
yeah,
It's so difficult to say now because we don't get offline events. We don't get to see because France has leveled up so much, but it's really difficult because we're in the middle of the EU scene. We constantly, we watch Wanted, we watch, EU tournaments, good ass Dragon Ball, so we constantly get to see how well these French players are doing. I don't keep up with the American scene. I don't watch American locals. I don't watch House of Chaos. I don't care as much.
no.
I'll say that for free, which means I would have a hard time keeping track exactly of okay, so France has leveled up, but how do they compare to the other regions since then? I can't tell.
Yeah, I want to point out.
I can only tell that anytime I see the French players play, they look so damn strong. They look so incredibly strong. And then when I was watching the nationals in America, I could see a really clear divide. I could see that it was the Kill Sage was taking these names for free. Sage had almost no competition in his nationals. He was taking those guys out like it was nothing. And this was these were the top American. These were the top.
But then Nitro showed up and almost washed Sage.
Yeah, exactly. There were there was Sage and there was Nitros, and then the rest of them wasn't it just didn't compare.
But I think the thing is with that as well. online. And France is like, I don't care. I will fight you, even with a 7-frame delay. I will fight you. We will play games till we die, literally. And they take that fully seriously, which is, I think, a very good mindset to have, especially in these times where offline is just literally dead. We cannot play offline, otherwise we literally die. And France, like, okay, that's cool. We still want to improve. Most of these players live relatively close together. Our connections are stable enough. We can make this work. Meanwhile, a big part of NA is just like, it's not offline, so I don't really care. The mindset is very different, which is, I think, why, as C4 pointed out in the chat, pre-COVID France was just basically just Wawa and Kane. But during COVID, France was like, yo, we're gonna kick it up a notch, and they were just like, we want to get good. We don't care about this whole COVID situation. We are just gonna do it with the things we have, and we are going to show people that we are some of the best in the world. And because they had that mindset, they improved tremendously, and they are in the top 5 best players of the world. I would even put Wawa, Yasha, and like Kaiden above like almost any NA player, except for, of course, Sonic Fox.
The Kill Sage, but
yeah, okay, and maybe the Kill Sage. But other than that, I don't think NA can tip like, at the best of friends.
Apology Man was also, placed, what was it, 4th in the World Championships? Like, Apology Man came super far.
Yeah, okay.
Like, NA's top still has serious names, and JP's top still has serious names. But then, like, I don't think the fires of this beef will still be lit when COVID's over. Absolutely not. That will be long. That will be long in the past. I do think that there will be a new fire, namely the fire of offline is returning. We've all been, put in our bubbles as scenes for the last year plus. I think there's going to be a lot of people who really want to get out there and show, okay, our scene leveled up. I'm about to show you what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
I still have money riding on this, so it's better be something in 6 months.
Yeah.
I put some good money on Yasha and Jilla against against I don't know who was
Was it Subatomic Sabers?
Yeah, against Sub. It was that guy. So I have a good amount of money running on that one. So I just want to fund some good ass Dragon Ball prizes with the money I earn from that one.
The free money, baby.
free money. Anyways, we are sorry to butt in, but we are sadly at time. Is there anything we want to get into before I cut the stream?
No.
Is there anything that needs to be said that hasn't been said?
Buff Android 18.
Stop sleeping on TN.
I play Pokemon.
On the Switch.
So you're gonna join C4 with Poke MMO right after this is done? Alright, I want to thank everybody for joining. Jake, thank you so much for being this week's guest. I think I speak for my fellow hosts that it was a lot of fun to have you on. It's always interesting to have a pro player amongst us, because as we said last time with Noka, it gives us a very different perspective, and I think we all really appreciate you sometimes just beating some sense into it, shut the fuck up, I know actually what I'm doing, because I am the best in UK and y'all are just some commentators. But thank you so much for coming in. I don't mean it literally, by the way, but this is a figure of speech. Jake, where can we find you?
My Twitter is JakeWiseGamgee. It's exactly how you spell it. I think it was spelled JakeWise and then GAMGE. My Twitch is JekwIse, JekwIseGamge. And yeah, other than that, that's it. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the gaslight as well.
Best in the UK. OB Assassin, move along, mate.
Undisputed best in the UK.
Really?
And Nick, I mean, you've already told us in the previous podcast, but where can we find you?
I'm currently residing in the Netherlands, so if you have luck, I'll be walking around.
I mean, you shouldn't be. It's lockdown.
That's true. I have a mask, actually. Where is it?
But I mean, where can we find you on Twitter? What are your socials where we can stalk you at? That's a nice mask, by the way.
Twitter.com/NickVee, which is NickUVee, and on Twitch, Good Ass Dragon Ball.
Yeah, can you say anything about Good Ass Dragon Ball? Because we haven't seen one of those in a while.
I'm currently saving up for a new computer. I'm hoping I can get a new computer at the end of January or beginning in February, and update some graphics, and then hopefully at the end of January or in March I will be hosting the first edition of Good Ass Dragon Ball in 2021.
Alright, sick.
That's it.
I look forward to it. Alright, PanZerPan.
Well, y'all can find me on Twitter at PanZerPanFGC. Usually this is where I would also plug my Twitch, but I am not streaming currently and probably won't be for the foreseeable future because new works beat me down. But you can find me on Twitter.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to join the Trash Talkers Discord server. You can suggest either guests or topics. We can discuss on next episode. The next episode is going to be on January 17th. That's in 2 weeks. Same time, same channel, of course. I can already confirm next episode guest, which is none other than Super Shadow, aka Shadow Who Laughs, is going to be our guest for the next episode of Trash Talkers. You can find me on twitter.com/xjfree. Put it in the chat. Yo, you have a question? All right.
No, suggestion.
Oh, suggestion. All right.
Yeah, he has to do a freestyle.
He has to do a freestyle. All right, I'll take it up with him. He'll probably be down. Knowing Shadow, he will probably do that with a lot of joy from his part. For everyone, be sure to follow the Twitch channel as well, so you don't miss any of my other streams. I do stream from time to time, sometimes Dragon Ball, sometimes other games I like Risk of Rain or other games. But yeah, that's it. Once again, gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the VOD. For those who just tuned in or didn't catch the entire channel, will be on YouTube. Just look for JayFree on YouTube or the Trash Talkers podcast on YouTube, and you will most likely find it. It will be either up tomorrow or on Tuesday at the latest. So if you didn't watch it, hit me up on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter as well. You can find links to my YouTube and Twitch on that channel as well. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Everyone, have a nice evening and goodbye.
Talk shit, get hit.